Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. These are my top 3 tips for an impactful presentation. Number 1, grab their attention from the get-go. The first minute of your presentation, especially if it's a long form presentation, matters the most for your audience engagement. So as tempting as it is, don't start a long form presentation by saying, "Hello, my name is Audra, and today I'm going to tell you about X." Keep them guessing for a minute, right? You want them to be like, what is she going to talk about here? And so what I usually advise clients to do is to start with a story. And the story can be real or can be fictional, as long as it's clear that the story is fictional. So, for example, you could say, imagine you are walking down the street, the sun is shining, yada yada. So they know that, this isn't really happening, but it's a way to get them to be a part of your story. Or you can tell them a real story. And I really like telling clients to do that because generally everyone has a story of why are you researching this? Why does this topic mean something to you? Or perhaps it's an anecdote from your research itself that really shows the importance of this topic. So stories are great. We're wired to like stories. Start with that. Another thing that you could start with is a compelling statistic. Keyword here is compelling. Don't just start with any statistic. That's a very quick way to get people to stop paying attention. It has to be some sort of statistic that makes people stop and think, wow, I did not know that, or I can't believe that's going on. And I can bet that you probably have some of that statistics in your research. So find one that's able to really exemplify your research. You could also start with a rhetorical question. And so this is a question that your audience is not supposed to answer, but it is a way for them to engage. It's a big question, right? It's about a big topic that you're probably not going to be able to even answer in your presentation. But it does allow them to take a moment at the beginning to start thinking on your topic. Or you could have them actually start with some sort of engagement question, raise your hand, stand up, or an activity. But in all these cases, really what you're trying to do is move your audience from being passive to active. And if they can be active at the beginning of your presentation, they're going to be more engaged throughout. Okay, number 2, use intentional pausing. Because when you have something important to say, you pause, right? You see how that works? Pausing is a really great delivery tip because it's so simple and it adds emphasis to the points that you want to say. You're saying, this is significant. It allows readers or your audience to digest what you're saying. And it can be used for your organization as well. So I say long held pauses between any new paragraphs, any points where you're moving from point A to point B, and you're moving along in your outline. You really want that to be an emphasized, we're breaking to go to the next point. It seems simple, and it is, but it really, really helps your listeners and your audience be able to keep track of what you're talking about. Especially going from, say, your attention getter into, your thesis or your research question. And then lastly, my third tip is your slide deck. Make your slides powerful yet simple. So in order to do that, I recommend using very limited text. The text that I usually tell clients that is appropriate for slides is their research question or thesis, definitions, especially if you think your audience might not know a certain word, jargon, that's really helpful to have it up behind you, or bullet points of where you're going to go. But importantly, those bullet points can't be full-on sentences that you are reading verbatim. It's another way just to lose your audience's attention. So they can be there to help you be like, I know I'm going from this to this to this, but they're not there to be a whole crutch for you in your presentation. So limited text. And then as far as images go, before you put an image in your presentation, I really want you to look at that image and ask yourself, why is this going in here? Do you want it to evoke a certain emotion? Do you want it to show a juxtaposition or exemplify your point? Whatever it is, you should have an answer. And if you have an answer, then likely is you can put that in and it is going to actually enhance your slides. Same goes with a graph. If you have a graph, then it needs to be engaged. It should not just be a passive part of the presentation. It should be, look here, we're talking about this percentage compared to this percentage. So you're actively engaging it. And really, what many of these tips are doing is moving presentations from being passive to active. So I hope you enjoyed this. Please check out my website if you want to learn more. Thanks.